Hey everybody, Jim here with another video for you. This is my most recent edition of my Actor Spotlight series, and on this one we are covering the films of Keanu Reeves. But before we begin, at the end of this video, if you like what you see, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but most importantly, please leave comments below. Let me know how you feel about Keanu Reeves as an actor, how you feel about his movies in general. Now, Keanu Reeves is a 60-year-old megastar right now that 30 years ago, if you would have asked me if I thought this guy was going to be the superstar that he became, I never in a million years would have believed. The first time I ever saw him was in 1989 when I saw Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure for the first time. Had no idea who he was. I recognized Alex Winter from The Lost Boys, but the only person in that movie I knew was George Carlin. And that movie blew me away, and I loved him in that movie, but for the next couple of years, he basically just played the same character, the dumb stoner type kid. So again, I never in a million years would have thought that he would have become the star that he has become. But Keanu Reeves, whether or not you think he's a good actor or not, you have to give the man credit. He works his ass off. He does most of his own stunts. He has produced many of his own films, and he's been a member of a couple of huge franchises, which some of these titles are definitely part of those franchises. So, as of right now on IMDb, he has 113 acting credits. I have 18 films. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start from 18, work our way down. Before I begin, I want to stress the following caveats. These rankings are strictly based on my own personal taste. It has absolutely nothing to do with quality of film. And I also want to stress that out of these 18 films, I actually enjoy all of them to a certain degree. There's truly not a bad movie in the bunch. Some are better than others, but none of them are what I would consider horrible. So let's begin. We're going to start with number 18, and that movie is The Matrix Revolutions, directed by the Wachowskis and starring, along with Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, Lawrence Fishburne, and the great Hugo Weaving. Third part of the Matrix trilogy. I do not own the fourth one that came out last year, which is an abomination. I will not buy that piece of shit. I saw it on HBO Max for free, and thank God. There's a lot of hate about this movie, and to me, it's not great, but it's certainly not horrible. It's watchable, and on the big screen, I enjoyed it. So for that reasons, that's why it's here where it is. Next, number 17. Is Bill and Ted Face the Music. This was released during the pandemic, so it didn't get much of a release. Co-starring Alex Winter and William Sadler, reprising their roles from the earlier films. Unfortunately, George Carlin is not in this film, as he passed away. Samara Weaving is also in this movie. Again, not a horrible movie by any stretch, but I don't like it as much as the other movies. However, there is a lot of heart in this movie, and it's great to see these two together again. So, again, not a great movie, but definitely watchable. Next is Toy Story 4. There's Keanu up there voicing that character, the Canadian Evel Knievel. Again, really cute movie. It's not as good as the 3 earlier installments, but it's a Pixar Toy Story movie. Of course, it's a good movie. It's just not something that I go back to very often. I bought this for my grandson when it came out. So, but again, Keanu as that character is hilarious, as are Key and Peele as these two characters. They steal the movie as far as I'm concerned. Next, from this multi-pack, based on DC graphic novels, we're going with Constantine. Co-starring Rachel Weisz, Tilda Swinton, and Peter Stormare as Lucifer. Peter Stormare, he's only in this movie for like 5 minutes. His performance is so great, it's worth watching this film just for him. He is so good as Lucifer. One of my favorite portrayals of Lucifer ever. And Tilda Swinton's a rock star. She's great in every movie she's in. Constantine, it's not a great movie, but it's very entertaining. And apparently they are working on a sequel 20 years later. So we'll be interested to see where that goes. But again, you could do a lot worse than watching Constantine. Next, from director Sam Raimi, The Gift. Co-starring Cate Blanchett, Giovanni Ribisi, Hilary Swank, Greg Kinnear. Great movie. And Keanu plays a real scuzzball in this movie. You've never seen Keanu play a character like this. He's not the star of the movie. He's basically got a glorified cameo, so to speak. He is integral to the plot, though. But this is a really good slow burn thriller. And like I said, Keanu kind of stretches his acting abilities at this point, and at this point in his career, to play really a despicable character. He had to do it more often. Next, Matrix Reloaded. Again, directed by the Wachowskis, and again, co-starring Carrie-Anne Moss, Lawrence Fishburne, and the wonderful Hugo Weaving. Again, there's things in this movie that I love. You know, the car chase is still one of the best scenes ever, you know, but again, it like Revolutions. I like both movies. I don't love either of them, but I do like them. Next, John Wick, the first in that franchise, co-starring Ian McShane and Willem Dafoe, among others. Great movie, great action movie, directed by Chad Zdarsky. And again, like I said, started the whole franchise, and it's just an awesome movie. Again, when I first heard about this movie, the plot, I did not see this theatrically, but I heard, you know, it's a revenge tale about a dog. I was like, are you friggin' kidding me? And then I saw the movie and was like, wow, this movie's awesome. Yeah, obviously not my favorite in the franchise, but the entire franchise is gold in my opinion. Number 11, from this multi-pack, Bram Stoker's Dracula, directed by Francis Ford Coppola and starring Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, among others. Keanu's the worst thing about this movie, believe it or not, in my opinion. I really like Dracula. I don't love this movie, but I really, really like it. But Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder are horribly miscast in this movie, and I love both of them. And not to mention Anthony Hopkins, who is more or less incapable of giving a bad performance. He comes damn close in this movie. He is so over the top, but this is the Gary Oldman show, and it's all about atmosphere and that score. And yeah, Dracula is definitely worth watching, and I've always enjoyed it quite a bit. Okay, we are at the top 10. Number 10 is John Wick 4. The concluding chapter, although there is a spinoff coming out this summer called The Ballerina, I believe, and there is rumors that they might be coming up with another John Wick movie. Quite honestly, I really hope that this one's the last one, because this movie was exhausting. It's a great action flick, but my God, is this movie exhausting, especially theatrically. And the way that it ended, I think justified the whole series, and I actually really like the final shot of this movie. So, John Wick 4 is number 10. Number 9, from my Bill and Ted's Most Excellent collection from Shout Factory, the second film, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, co-starring Alex Winter and William Sadler and the late, great George Carlin. This was originally called Bill and Ted Go to Hell. Then they changed it at the last minute to play off of Excellent Adventure, changed it from Excellent Adventure to Bogus Journey. I did not like this movie all that much the first time I saw it. I loved William Sadler's death character. The sequence where they're playing games with him for their souls. I laughed hysterically the first time I saw this theatrically. But this movie didn't leave as much joy in my heart as the previous installment. But as the years have gone by, I've really warmed up to this movie quite a bit. And yeah, I do love it now. Number 8. From this multi-pack, The Devil's Advocate, starring the great Al Pacino, Charlize Theron, and Keanu Reeves, of course. This one was directed by Taylor Hackford. This movie's fun. It's not scary. It's fun. And Al Pacino chews up the scenery as the devil. You could tell he's having a ball. And Keanu, his southern accent is a little off, but you know, because one thing about Keanu Reeves, he doesn't do accents well. But again, he gives a good performance in this. Charlize Theron's great in this movie. Yeah, Devil's Advocate. I have a ball every time I watch this movie. Next is John Wick Chapter 2. Co-starring Common and Ian McShane and the late great, I gotta mention him once I find him here in the damn, oh, Jesus Christ. I lost my train of thought now. Never mind, we'll get to him on the next one. John Wick 2, great movie. Obviously, I enjoy it more than part 2, or part 1 rather. It was one of those sequels that I was like, wow, you know, like Lethal Weapon. It's just as good, if not better, than the original. And yeah, there's some great sequences in this movie. Common is really good in this movie. Yeah, this movie's a lot of fun. Lance Reddick. That's who I was thinking about. Lance Reddick. Okay, next we have Speed. Co-starring Sandra Bullock and the late, great Dennis Hopper. Jeff Daniels as well, and Joe Morton. This one's directed by John DeBont. And yeah, this is one of those great action movies from that year. This one and True Lies came out the same summer of '94. Great 1-2 punch theatrically. And yeah, this was one of those movies that just kind of came out of nowhere. Even though Keanu had done an action movie a couple of years earlier, it wasn't really a big hit. This one was huge. And Speed it's just a lot of fun. Okay, we are at the top 5. Number 5 is Parenthood, directed by Ron Howard, and with an incredible cast of Steve Martin, Rick Moranis, Jason Robards, Mary Steenburgen, Tom Hulse, and of course Keanu Reeves. This came out the same year as Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, and he more or less plays the same character. But he's quite funny in this movie. Everybody is gold in this movie, and look out for a very, very, very young Joaquin Phoenix. He plays Keanu Reeves' young brother-in-law. Yeah, Parenthood, one of Ron Howard's best films in my opinion, and absolutely one of Steve Martin's. I adore this film. Number 4 is John Wick 3, Parabellum. Co-starring Halle Berry, Ian McShane, Lance Reddick, there he is right there. But the guy who steals this movie to me is Mark Dacascos as the sushi chef fanboy assassin. The scene where he sits down basically on Keanu Reeves' lap in the waiting room of the Continental and starts asking about the dog had me in hysterics. I love the John Wick movies, but this one is definitely my favorite. It is just so much fun. Not to mention the scene with Halle Berry and the dogs is just on another level cool. Awesome flick. Number 3 is Point Break, co-starring the late, great Patrick Swayze and crazy Gary Busey. You knew I was going to say it. This is the action flick I was talking about earlier when I was talking about Speed. This movie was a hit, but it was not a huge hit. And the reviews were kind of hit and miss. But my ex-wife, of course, you know, she wanted to see this movie because of Patrick Swayze. She was in love with the guy, and hey, I didn't mind. I wanted to see it anyways. And yeah, I love this movie. It's been memed to death. It's been parodied to death, you know, between the Avengers films and, of course, Hot Fuzz. But Point Break's a great movie. Now, the remake's a piece of shit. I couldn't even get through it. I watched about 15 minutes of it, and I turned it off. Go back to the original. It's a 90s cheese fest, but it is awesome, and these two are great together. Number 2 is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Again, co-starring Alex Winter and the late, great George Carlin, directed by Stephen Herrick. This was my introduction to Keanu Reeves, and it's still one of my favorite comedies of the 80s. I absolutely love this movie. A lot of people lump this movie in with the stoner movies like Cheech and Chong and such. No, these guys are not stoners. They're just idiots, but they're well-meaning idiots. And again, the chemistry between these two is so great. You would think that they were best friends since the time that they were in diapers. I adore Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. But number one, and of course everybody knows this, is The Matrix. Directed by the Wachowskis. And once again, co-starring Carrie-Anne Moss, Lawrence Fishburne, Hugo Weaving, and Joe Pantoliano, who I love. I love Joey Pants. This movie changed cinema. Whether you like this movie or not, it did. For better or worse, this movie changed how effects were done, how fight scenes are choreographed, how stories can interlock with one another, and filming back-to-back-to-back movies, of course, which became the fashion as well. But strip it down, take all the effects, take all the over-the-top stuff, and strip it down to just the story. And this movie's awesome. I mean, just the idea of a futuristic society where people are living in a virtual reality while their bodies are being used as batteries to run the machines. I mean, that is just so cool. This was one of those movies that the first time I saw it, I sat there for 2 hours in awe, and then walked out, turned around, and went right back in and watched it again. And I've only done that a couple of times in my life, but The Matrix was definitely one of those films. I was shouting to the rooftops for people to see this movie because it took a couple of weeks for this movie to catch on, and nobody in a million years could picture Keanu Reeves being in a movie like this. I mean, even in the commercials, they show him going, whoa. Doesn't matter. The Matrix is an incredible film, and it's one of my favorite science fiction films of all time. So to recap this ranking of the films of Keanu Reeves that I own, number 1 is The Matrix. Number 2 is Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Number 3 is Point Break. Number 4 is John Wick 3, Parabellum. Number 5 is Parenthood. Number 6 is Speed. Number 7 is John Wick Chapter 2. Number 8 is The Devil's Advocate. Number 9 is Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. Number 10 is John Wick Chapter 4. Number 11 is Bram Stoker's Dracula. 12 is John Wick. 13 is The Matrix Reloaded. 14 is The Gift. 15 is Constantine. 16 is Toy Story 4. 17 is Bill and Ted Face the Music. And 18 is The Matrix Revolutions. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe. Most importantly, leave comments below. Before I wrap this up, I want to shoot out a couple of things. Tomorrow, Saturday, February 22nd at 1 p.m. Central Time will be the next live edition of Shooting the Shit with Jim. My special guest will be Corey from Wilkys Movies and Music. And on Tuesday, February 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time will be the next live edition of Talking Movies with Sean, Kenny, and Jim. And on that particular episode, we're going to be discussing some of our favorite guilty pleasure movies. So please tune in to both of those if you could. I'll be leaving all the information in the description below and links to the channels as well. Once again, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this and for leaving comments as always. And we will be catching you on the next one.